It's Wednesday, August 7, 2019, and this is Globespan 24x7 News. My name is Samuel Sukhnandan, coming to you live from Georgetown, Guyana. Here are the major headlines for today. Harman says opposition informed cabinet will not be resigning. Dismissed Public Service Department employees reinstated. Taxi driver killed in MOCHA, Arcadia over fear. Market repairs will not benefit us, says the penitent's stallholders. And 9-year-old gets her wish to meet President David Granger. We start off tonight's news by telling you the Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harman, has reaffirmed the government's position that President David Granger and his cabinet will not be resigning. In addressing a post-cabinet press briefing earlier today, Harman said this decision was communicated to opposition leader Barticica, who had written to the president on the subject matter.
The AG has provided his advice to the president, and the president has responded to the leader of the opposition. In general terms, what the information is that the president has advised the leader of the opposition that he or his cabinet will not be resigning, and that the Constitution provides for the president and government to remain in office until such time that a new president is sworn in.
Jagdeo had asked that the government and cabinet resign and announce a date for early elections in compliance with the Caribbean Court of Justice June 18, 2019 ruling and subsequent July 12, 2019 consequential orders. Jagdeo had also requested that the president issue a proclamation to dissolve the 11th Parliament of Guyana. Questioned by the press whether President Granger will be dissolved in Parliament before it goes into recess from August 10 to October 10, Harman said that that decision ultimately rests with the president.
Dissolution of Parliament has to, of course, do with advice which he receives from the Elections Commission about their readiness to conduct elections and to conduct credible elections. So a question of a date for elections and the dissolution of Parliament is based primarily on the readiness of GCOM, and once that is given to His Excellency the President, then he will make his decision with respect to a date and the dissolution of the National Assembly.
Meanwhile, 3 workers of the Department of Public Service will be reinstated after a board of inquiry established to investigate the dismissal of these individuals found that it was unlawful. More in this report. Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harman, said recommendations were presented to the ministry on July 25, to which the president agreed to. He noted that the Board of Inquiry, headed by Lance Carberry, found that letters issued to Andrew Grant, Gail Williams, and Grace Dazzle were unlawful. The 3 employees were dismissed by Minister of Public Service Tabitha Sarabu Hale days after she was appointed to the post.
And having regard to its observations and findings, recommended that the letters of determination be immediately withdrawn. Secondly, it is expected that the aforementioned public servants, as the 3 names I called, will be reinstated immediately and restored to their respective positions within the Department of Public Service. I will continue to enjoy all benefits and allowances they previously enjoyed prior to the purported determination of these services.
Harman said the minister was advised on the need to ensure due process is taken in the future when dismissing employees. He said the action to dismiss the employees should have been made by a permanent secretary.
The 3 public servants have been called, and of course they have to be debriefed. The issue, of course, was that the actions that were taken were actions which ought to have been taken by a permanent secretary in the ministry. The ministry was without a permanent secretary for some time. A permanent secretary was appointed on the 1st of August of this year, and the new permanent secretary is now following up on these actions so that the employees can expect a speedy action, a speedy implementation of these decisions of the Commission of Inquiry.
The opposition has maintained from the onset that it feels the employees were unfairly dismissed. Opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo feels that the minister rushed to illegally fire all of the staff in the department that had access to pertinent information of corrupt acts and practices. For Globespan 24/7 News, I'm Samuel Sukhnandan. And in other news, a 21-year-old man was today remanded to jail after he was charged with the rape of a Venezuelan woman. Accused Jamal Bunbury was not required to plead to the indictable charge when he appeared before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan. It is alleged that on August 3, Bunbury raped the 26-year-old Venezuelan woman in Hossororo Region 1. The alleged victim, who resides in the same area, was reportedly asleep when she felt the man holding her down and sexually penetrating her. She filed a police complaint after the incident and the accused was arrested. The matter was transferred to the Mabaruma Court for hearing on August 20. A taxi driver was stabbed to death in MOCHA, Arcadia last evening over an argument about fare. Here's that story. The 42-year-old man, identified as Owen Lynch, was stabbed to death by passengers he picked up at Sophia Greater Georgetown. The man's mother, Corinne Hilleman, who resides in Stevedore Housing Scheme, Georgetown, spoke with Globespan 24/7 News to explain what she heard.
His drop-off was in MOCHA, and while on his way, apparently like he called the base and tell him that the passengers didn't want to pay the fare, and like the person for the base, the lady for the base tell him well, turn back or something like that. And I don't know if he continued because she said she didn't hear no more response from him, but until she get a call that he gets stabbed up and died.
The grieving mother said there is no indication as to what happened after that communication. Reports are that Lynch armed himself with an ice pick which he used to stab one of the passengers. This later led to him being stabbed to death.
The incident didn't happen too late. After 9 it happened, apparently. Must be after 9 or I don't know. Can't say much because I wasn't there. I don't know directly what took place, but I know him. And I know that he don't play with his money. He's a man that wants his money. Because he just say he's working hard and the money is to maintain. He sent for maintaining children.
Hilliman said she received a call at around 2100 hours from Lynch's girlfriend, who informed her that several calls to his phone went unanswered.
But I talked to him many times about working in the night and working late, but he's up working late. Because I get the connection through the girlfriend, because the girl said that she was calling his phone the time that he normally would go and pick her up to the get home, pass, and she'd see that he didn't. And she called, and it's the police answer the phone. Tell her, well, come down.
Asked to describe how she feels about the situation, Hilliman said Lynch was her only son and she is deeply saddened by the incident.
I'm sad about the incident. I'm a grief mother right now because it's my only son. And regardless of what, in any home, there's got a little ups and downs. But it's my son at the end of the day. And I'm sad to know that his children has lost a father.
Police said an ice pick was found at the crime scene along with Lynch's phone and other personal items, including his car. He leaves to mourn 2 children, ages 6 and 10. His body is presently at the Likens Funeral Home awaiting a post-mortem examination. No arrests have been made. For Globespan 24/7 News, I'm Samuel Sukhnandan. Globespan 24/7 News understands that a suspect was arrested by police this afternoon and has allegedly admitted to detectives that he stabbed Lynch several times. The suspect claims he was first attacked. Investigations are ongoing. We will take a short break. Do stay with us.
We would like to ask all of our faithful viewers to kindly like and follow Globespan 24/7 Facebook page and subscribe to Globespan 24/7 YouTube channel to receive up-to-date notifications of when we are live. Globespan 24/7 has vacancies for full-time positions such as reporters, newscasters, and news editors. Persons serious about joining a new and dynamic news team are asked to send their application to careers@globespantechnology.com. Globespan 24/7 has some exciting news. As of August 10th, the social and community programs will move from Sunday at 12:30 p.m. to Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Don't miss it.
Thanks for staying with us. We continue by telling you that the Guyana Elections Commission to date has registered over 150,000 Guyanese as its current house-to-house registration process continues. On Tuesday, GECOM's Public Relations Officer Yolanda Ward indicated that the process is moving apace but has faced some challenges. GECOM commenced its house-to-house registration on Saturday, July 20. The exercise is a legal requirement according to the National Registration Act, Chapter 1908, and will help to create a new National Register of Registrants database. Anyone who is intellectually impaired or has a learning disability can also participate in the exercise as services are in place to accommodate. The government of Ghana has already shown its full support at the ongoing house-to-house registration and advises that all Guyanese who met the eligibility requirements to participate in the process. A subvention worth $300 million was recently given to the Mayor and City Council to assist with their capital projects and other works. The monies are already being utilized for many projects, including the much-needed repairs to local markets within the capital city. We find out more in this Kipney Jordan report.
We'll do work at Border Market, Kitty Market, Albaistong Market, and all these markets. Those work, yes, is a subvention we receive from central government through the Ministry of Communities. Those work I understand is ongoing.
City Mayor Ubraj Narain. The government of Ghana provided a subvention of $300 million to the Mayor and City Council through the Ministry of Communities for rehabilitative works for marketplaces, purchasing of equipment for solid waste management, and a number of other projects. Acting Deputy City Engineer Kenson Boston explained that rehabilitative works at All Boys Town commenced 2 weeks ago.
Within further assessment of the office at the first level, where there shall be started remedial repair works to that office. Yes, we have been receiving cooperation through the clerk of markets, who would have leave a message or a notice with them that work should be started anytime soon, and even though they would be still selling, when we show up they would cooperate with us by moving the stocks.
An allocated sum of $8.5 million was budgeted for rehabilitative works at the Petition's market. The contract was awarded to TBL Engineering and General Construction, Inc. to complete rehab works for that market. For Globespan 24x7 News, Kipney Jordan.
City Council has commenced repairs at the La Penitence Market and claims that stallholders and vendors are cooperating. But on the contrary, these vendors and stallholders say they were not informed of any repairs to the market, and the section currently on the repairs is of no benefit to them. Here again is Kipney Jordan.
One stallholder, Babito, recounted the Chida stall workers taking certain equipment, and the repairs has nothing to do with the rest of the market.
Well, the repairers serve no purpose stallholder. There's only for the revenue then. Well, the business deteriorating in this market. Normally this market is a very bright market. And every day it's getting worse.
Another stallholder for 25 years in the market, Ravi Singh, shared similar sentiments, adding that the conditions has deteriorated over the years.
Whenever there is rainfall, you have to close your stands. Our stand was leaking so bad that we had to zinc it, if you notice, right through the and I keep telling them, then another thing, the market is so low, if you look around here, there's no constable around here. People come, people come right here and they're getting robbed and things like that. There's no security, thing like that. So, it's a very atrocious thing.
Earlier it had good business. We had a lot of nice business of, going well earlier. But now, for the past 2-3 years, the business dropped really, really bad in the market. Look at the market. You can see this place look like a market. I look right over the shop here. This when it rains here, flood. Whole place flood up.
The stallholders all imply that they stand to lose when it rains and face serious danger whenever thieves run through the market, robbing and assaulting them and customers. This newscast was informed that complaints have been filed with the authorities about security concerns and the leaking roof, but nothing has been done to date to address any of these issues. For Globespan 24/7 News, Kippany Jordan.
Thanks, Kippany. President David Granger today met 9-year-old F.E. Pollard student, Miss Kelly Polydor, at State House. Miss Polydor had written to the head of state requesting a meeting with him to discuss her plans of one day becoming president. She had also requested that he give special consideration to scheduling the meeting on August 7, her mother's birthday, as a gift to her mother, who is a single parent and who would be accompanying her. In addition, she asked for a computer to assist her with her studies. President Granger met with Miss Polydor, her mother, Miss Leandra Benjamin, and her grandmother, where she revealed her intention to attend President's College in preparation for her future role as president. President Granger encouraged the girl to remain focused on her goals and to pursue her education, as it is the key to unlocking her success. The head of state then took the group on a guided tour of State House and presented Ms. Polydor with a personal computer and a commemorative coin. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of a 32-year-old rancher in South Rupununi who was killed by a bow and arrow. Pius Ernest was reportedly killed by a 50-year-old farmer at around 2200 hours on August 5. Investigations so far reveal that the suspect saw his spouse in the company of Ernest deceased at a location in the village, and he armed himself with a bow and arrow and fatally shot the man in the upper part of his body. The suspect has since been arrested and is assisting with investigations. We will now take a look at our regional and international news. Regionally, Nazma Muller, founder of the Caribbean Collective for Justice and a staunch advocate for the legislation of marijuana in the region, has long maintained that it's unconscionable that Trinidad and Tobago's Ministry of Health has never exercised clauses to amendments made to the Dangerous Drugs Act in 2000, which allows for licenses to grow, import, export, sell, and distribute marijuana, and regulates the use, purchase, and sale or possession of any dangerous drugs for medicinal or scientific purposes. In 2016, Muller's group started a petition asking for the government to legalize cannabis. They presented the petition, which has now garnered close to 12,000 signatures, to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley in 2018. The government later announced that cannabis would be decriminalized as early as June 2019, but that has not yet come to pass. Internationally, female MPs have walked out of Kenya's parliament in solidarity with a colleague who was ordered to leave because she had taken her baby. Zalika Hassan said she had brought her 5-month-old baby with her to work because of a domestic emergency and that Parliament didn't have a play school. According to the House rules, strangers are not allowed into the chamber, children included. Some of her male colleagues described their actions as shameful. Speaker Christopher Umaleli ordered Hassan out of the chamber and said that she could not return with the baby. Some MPs shouted and others started shoving each other. Hassan called on Parliament to create a more family-friendly atmosphere if it wanted more women to become members of Parliament. And now for a look at what's happening in sport. BARTICA will be hosting the 13th edition of the Junior Caribbean Cycling Championship later this week. Thus far, some 11 countries have confirmed their participation. Gifford Marshall, BARTICA's mayor and president of the Ghana Cycling Federation, Horace Burrows, met to further discuss plans ahead of the exciting championship. Among the first to send the list of the riders were Bermuda, Barbados, and St. Martin. The representatives for nations are expected to arrive in Guyana today. According to Burrows, despite many hurdles, the GCF, in association with the mayor and town council, are pulling out all stops to ensure that the championships are of a major success. And finally, the top 11 highest earning female sport athletes over the past year have all been tennis players. Most recent, Serena Williams, 37, tops the rich list after earning US $29.2 million, including $25 million in endorsements, according to Forbes. Japan's Naomi Osaka, who beat Williams in the US Open final, is second. US World Cup winning striker Alex Morgan is the first non-tennis player at 12 after earning $5.8 million. Germany's Angelique Kerber, 31, third, despite slipping to the 13th in the world rankings, while current Wimbledon champion Simona Halep is fourth. The 23-time Grand Slam winner, Williams, is the only woman to make it onto the Forbes top 100 best paid athletes list, coming in at number 63 in the list compiled in June. And that has brought us to the end of today's news, but before we go, here's a recap of our major headlines. Harman says opposition-informed cabinet will not be resigning. Dismiss Public Service Department employees reinstated. Taxi driver killed in MOCHA Arcadia over fear. Market repairs will not benefit us, says Le Penitent stallholders. And 9-year-old gets her wish to meet President David Granger. Thanks for watching Globespan 24/7 News. On behalf of myself, Samuel Sukhnandan, the news and technical team, until next time, do have a great evening.